All right, we are recording. So this is going to be a pop-up training. It will not be an hour-long training, but I can get to be a talkative person. So if I do, just like slow me down. And the way I kind of go about my trainings is I show you guys things, but I like for people to learn to be self-sufficient. So I'm going to show you the way I always go into a training. All right, so this is why I'm really good at like taking notes and learning, and I think I like to pride myself on being coachable, because when you watch a training, it's very important to be present and to participate. Yes, I think it's important to have a notepad out so you can write down key points, but do not try to write down everything I say, because this is recorded and you can go back and do it. When I was in my first Emerald training and my first Diamond training, I go and I watch and I participate. I ask questions. And if you ask questions, I always ask them out loud and then I respond, so that when the people who are watching the recording, they know what I'm talking about. So it's really important to watch and participate and to hear everything that the person is saying. Otherwise, you walk away from the training and you just have a sheet full of notes that get stuck in the back of your planner that you look at and be like, oh yeah, there's that training. But whereas if you're present and you're listening and you're participating, then you're going to remember. The training's going to stick out in your mind. Just like with Amy did one for Shakeology school. And I was like, oh my God, I need to write down all this stuff. But I stayed present and I listened. And now that it's ingrained in my mind. So when I do go back and I want to do that and I want to write down all the notes and make a PDF or something out of it, the training sticks out of my mind and I know where to find it. I know who did it. And I remember like some of the key points from it. So this training is about Instagram, Linktree, and getting your Linktree set up and what your Linktree is going to link to, as well as your Google Forms. Does everybody want to pop your name, or I can see your name. I think everybody's name is on here. But just pop down who your sponsoring coach is in the chat box if you want. And any other information you want to put in there, any questions you have, like if from the title of this thing, anything you want to learn about in particular. I kind of do these things by the fly. I don't like pop-up trainings for me aren't like super planned. So first things first, does everybody have a email address specifically for coaching? If you do not, you should. Otherwise, junk mail. It's a pain in the ass. So what you're going to do is you need a separate Gmail setup also, so that you can have Google Drive. And these are all things that you should have on your phone. You should, I'll show you a screen share in a minute of how I do it, because I use my phone for my job as well. And I'm a compartmental person. I like things to be put where I know they're at and I can go to them and they're all together. So I have my own little cubby for all of my fitness stuff. I have my Gmail, my Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Calendar, and all of these things in this have to do with my fitness. I don't cross-reference my email address with my work, because then I can't have a separate calendar for it. So if I have to have things on my calendar for work, it doesn't go on my fitness calendar. My Google Calendar is specifically for fitness, and I go through and I set these up each day, the day before. So this is all just my day, and it has my work stuff put in here, and I have that time blocked out. But that's why, to me, it's important. And to have Google Sheets and stuff, because people in the when Amy does fill out a Google Sheet thing, you can just, once you have gone into it on Set Your Soul on Fire, you don't have to go find the post every fucking time. You can just go in here, and it's one of the most recently opened Google Sheets. And it's just right there. There's all the sheets that you've recently opened, and it's just saved on your phone. So those are all things that I have downloaded and I keep separately. And whenever you're creating a Google form, it is done inside of Drive. So you have your Drive open and you're just right clicking and you're creating a Google form. So we're going to go through all of that really quick. So first things, the first thing I'm going to cover really is Instagram, because a lot of you guys, if you probably are a new coach, right? So I just recently did a GSR call with my coach, Julian. And we're going to go to Julian's page, because I want to use her for an example on what it means to be coachable. So we're going to scroll down here to what all of Julian's Instagram feed looked like before we had our GSR call. You see how close she is in all the boxes, how close she is to the front of the screen? One of the main points that I made to her was, you need to step back. You have to pay attention to how you're going to fit into a screen on your Instagram page. And I want you to look at the two pictures, the last two pictures she posted, and how she took what I said and how much different those photos look than the rest of her feed. Does that make sense? Does everybody see the difference here in a photo like this and a photo like this? Putting your whole body and actually sharing your journey with people and showing them is very important. One of her main concerns was, a lot of people who are like, well, I'm not at my fitness goals, like it's uncomfortable, like putting my whole body in there. I'm like, okay, well, that's what you're here to do. And that's what you're here to help other people get past. So just do it. And that's really it. Just do it. Like, because basically you're going to learn to love yourself. And that's what this whole journey is being a coach and teaching other people what they're going to be doing. And like, it's really awesome just to watch someone be coachable and to like listen to what you've told them and like to see them put it into action. Lou is on this call. She's one of my other new coaches, and having her seeing like how she, like, this is her feed now. And before she was a coach, it looked very different, right? Like it was a lot of just other stuff, just light, family, going out, traveling. And then like you see a difference. You see a cleaner look. You see food being incorporated. But it's not all fitness. It's not all fitness. It's not all about food. It's lifestyle. It's what you're going to learn is people think their Instagram has to show everything, but the message is in your content, you guys, in the content. Like it can be a lifestyle photo and everything that you're saying down here being more important than what just like the picture just shows you working out. People see Instagram and they think, oh, fitness platform. That's what we're doing here. So I just need to show pictures of everything. Your message is still there in the body of the content. You don't want to always write a book. Like if you're doing the 3 posts a day, I don't do 3 posts a day. I used to do 3 posts a day. Now I do like 2 or 1, really depending on the message. Like if it's a hard invite, I like to leave it. Like if I post it, I like to post at 11 p.m. my time, because then when people wake up on the Eastern time, like I have a lot of likes already going on it. So then people here are seeing it throughout the day. It's still getting likes, and I can make another post in the middle of the day and it'll garner some attention. But that's a whole different topic. So that was really just the first thing I wanted to talk about. There are tons and tons of trainings on Instagram and getting your face, like figuring out where you fit. One tip I like to give everybody, take your pictures in square mode. I take all of my pictures in square mode. I don't take pictures in the regular, because then you ever notice how like when you go to post a picture and then you look at your feed, it doesn't look the way it looked when you posted it. You're like, it's a great picture, but then you're like zoomed in on your crotch and half your face is cut off. It's because that's what Instagram does. Instagram holds you to this little square. Kelly, what times do you suggest for posting in order to get the most engagement? It really just depends. And this is where I'm going to teach you to be self-sufficient. So let's go do that right now. When someone asks me a question, this is how I answer it. So you're going to go to Google, and I'm not doing this to be a smartass at all. I'm going to show you how to like go through Google and find quality content or find quality actual websites. And I would say Instagram algorithm 2018 post times. I don't know if that's going to pop up anything, and I spelled it wrong, so let's just hit enter. Best times to post on Instagram in 2018. So the first thing I always look at is the date and time, or the dates that the article was posted. 8 reasons you should be scheduling Instagram posts in 2018. It's like, so that you're about to get your mind blown. Like you see all these things, you're about to go down the rabbit hole, learn all the things, and be self-sufficient. And you know what else this does? It gives you an opportunity to learn something that you can also share with your team. And not just go ask and like a lot of people will go into our team pages and just ask a question that they could have very easily gone and learned something else from, and not only the answer to what they were looking for. But let's see what this one says as far as the best times to post, because that was January 31st. Just like the algorithm, the answers seem to change every year. Last year in our poll, over 50% of social media users said that evenings from 7 to 9. In 2018, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. was their best time, followed by evenings from 7 to 9. So, I mean, there's a good, like, it's a trial and error thing for you guys. You have to understand that. Also for me, the reason why 11 p.m. my time is so good is because of I'm from the East Coast. So 11 p.m. my time now is, I don't know why. That doesn't make sense. It's not like have that be. If somebody just popped on, I'm going to mute you. Yeah. What up, Katie? I'm going to mute you. But yeah, so it doesn't mean it's the best time to post for you. See, look, the fucking article just took the words right out of my mouth. So basically, it really depends on where your users are from. Like for me, I live here. A lot of my followers that I've garnered over the year have been from the East Coast. So I don't know why 11 p.m. is a really weird time, but I happened to make a post one day and it was at 11 p.m. or 11:30 p.m. and I woke up the next morning with 70 likes on it. And I was like for me, I garner anywhere between 50 on like a dud post to 120. Like that's like, it varies depending on the content, depending on if it was the only thing I posted that day, depending on if it's something that people who know me, like yesterday I posted my sister's birthday post and it got like 80 likes on it. And I was like, okay, I'm still going to message all those people and be like, what up? Thanks for the love of my photo. You know? So, I mean, this is just like what I like to do. So I always say, when is the best time to post on Instagram? This isn't exactly what this is about, this training. So I'm going to like just scroll through this and not go in depth with it. But this is a really good article. And what I'll do is I will take this and I'm going to put it in the chat box for you guys. Whoop, come back. There you go. So that's what I do. And it's really easy to garner and figure out like what works for you and what doesn't. I don't even remember what I was talking about before now, but it's all good. Instagram and like figuring out like the picture frame. That's what I was talking about. Take your pictures on square mode. Just start out there. And honestly, you should have VSCO on your phone, VSCO. If you've seen anybody posting about it or not, like in the page, like let me find this. I'll get to that in a second. This is why I like try to stay on topic, because I'll jump around and get really excited about things. And yeah. So VSCO, VSCO, I recommend finding 3 to 5 filters that you like and letting those always be your go-to. Those are the rule. There can be an exception. Let black and white be the exception. Always let black and white be the exception unless your entire feed is in black and white, because you're creating a storefront when you're looking at it. That's why it's important. That's why I tell all my coaches, until they're comfortable and they understand what they're doing on Instagram when they're building that feed, shoot all of your pictures on square mode so you know what it's going to look like on Instagram. You know how your body is going to fit into the square, and you know what everything's going to look like. Obviously, you cannot take your videos on square mode, and I have an entirely different training that I've done on videos that I will post in the chat box later. How the heck do you take pictures in square mode? Do you have an iPhone? Dun-dun-dun-dun. Let me know when you can see can you see my screen? My freaking photo thing always pops up. There it goes. All right, so you open up your camera. Do you see at the bottom down here where I can take photo, portrait, or square mode? I take everything in square mode. That's what I do. But if you don't have an iPhone, I don't know the answer to that question, and I would suggest Googling it. Oh, no, I don't know. I'm not sure. You can always take your picture and then go to the edit function, and there should always be a 1-to-1 ratio option or a square mode option. If you ever see 1-to-1, that's the same thing as square mode, 1 inch to 1 inch. Yeah, so just try that. So let's move on to setting up your Linktree. So I'm going to share my computer screen with you guys. And I have Flume. I've got so many things open. And whenever you do this, let's see. Here's my Flume. And let's go. I got to move all of you guys over here. So let's see. Flume is technically Instagram. Raina did a whole training on it, but I can't get to it. Come here. I can't touch my pop-ups because everything else is going on. Oh, well, I'm just going to share my freaking Instagrams, my phone screen with you guys. I apologize. Let's just do it this way. All right. You guys can see, right? Yeah? I don't know why I can't see anything. It's because my photos, every time I do this, my photos open and then I can't see my screen there. All right. So you see at the top of my Instagram here where it says work with me, or hold on, it's not. There it goes. Sorry, there's a lag. All right, so it says work with me down below. And everybody's always like, okay, well, how do I do that? So this is what it looks like once you click on it. I always have connect with me on Facebook, so people can find me on Facebook and add me as a friend. I have a video from what is coaching, because it was a behind the scenes coaching workshop that we did, and I just saved the video on YouTube and I put it on here, so people are like, what is that? A wellness group fitness application form, and you notice that I put it wellness group plus fitness app, because people are like, oh, she's got a fitness app, what is that? It is just a trick, but it's really app for application, but whatever. Coach mentorship form. So those are the ones that I have, and I'm going to show you where they take you. So connect with me on Facebook. You have to actually take the link from your Facebook and put it on there. What is coaching? It's going to take you to my Babies Build Empires call. Wellness group plus fitness app. This is actually something I got from Haley Christensen. I think her name is Christian. I can never remember if it's just Christian or Christensen. But yeah, I took this and I copy pasted what she had, and then I went through and I rewrote everything. Never just take someone else's words and use them unless your coach gave you specific instructions on that you can do that. So yeah, that's just like the little intro part. I'm actually going to go through and rehaul mine today because I have way too many questions. And yeah, I don't have that many followers, and this link has been clicked 86 times, and I've only ever gotten 18 people who actually filled it out and sent it to me. So that tells me that I need to rehaul it and make it not so long. So again, write down my Instagram handle. Don't try to write down every single section that I have here. If you want to know what this says, write down my IG handle. It is @KELLZSAVVY. And then you can go click on it and go to I feel like that's where a lot of the clicks also came from, is people looking at it. And just then you can like go through and write these down. But I am going to change these, so don't just copy. I'll go through and change them with you right here. And it like kind of tells you like how long would you like to work out each day? Are you already working with a Beachbody coach? Oh, so they get to my form and they already know I'm a Beachbody coach. Maybe I'll take that out. Who knows? But now, these are all the apps that I have on my phone. We have Gmail, we have Docs, we have Drive, we have my calendar. I don't ever use Hangouts. I don't ever use Skype. I use Zoom and I use Google Sheets. And the reason why I told you guys this is important is so you don't always have to go search through the groups when somebody posts something. So you remember when Amy, back in December, or what was it? It was freaking like October or something. We had that Google sheet that we were filling out for our compensation. And if we made over $1,000 in 2 months, then we got like a prize or something. I would never be able to find that if I went back and tried to go through all of those freaking posts and set your soul on fire. But guess what? There it is right there. Holiday cash for prizes list. And then I can just go back in here and fill it out. That's why it's important to have this on your phone. So the last thing what is this? Diamond Dash accountability. Oh, so this is when I signed up. These are all people who are signed up with the Diamond Dash. So yeah, it's really cool. And then I have my work stuff does link to this too, like the transaction worksheet. That's for my job. So I can't keep everything separate, but I do my best to try to keep all of my stuff separate. And then you have your Gmail, and I use this mail down here on the bottom. This is all of my stuff. Like this, you're gonna see all of my work stuff in here, and you see all of my spam mail going there. Have an email that is completely separate from all of that. Do not try to use the same thing. This is all my Beachbody stuff. Like my not what I'm registered with through Beachbody, because that goes to my work email because it's for tax purposes and stuff. But this is like where I communicate with people at. Google Drive. I also have an entire other call that I did on Google Drive before. But the reason why this is so important is because I work on the fly. So if I need something done, if somebody signs up for my challenge and I'm sitting in the middle of a meeting, I can send them their coach welcome email while I'm sitting there without having to break out my laptop and go figure out everything. So I literally all I have to do, you see my coach welcome emails at the top. These are my most recently opened things. And then I just select all, copy, go back to my Gmail, open a new email, paste, boom. So that's why it's easy to have this thing on your phone and to have all of your Google Drive in there. But we're using this today, for forms. So you see, these are all of my Beachbody things that I keep separately and stuff like that. And there's one for forms. And you see a little plus sign. I'm teaching you how to do this from my phone, but I'll give you a brief overview of how to do this from the computer in a minute. So you see the little plus sign in the bottom right-hand corner. You're going to go to new. Oh, wow. Where's it at? I don't need a sheet or a thing like that. Maybe I will have to do this from my computer. Oh, well, let's do it from the computer, because I'm not going to spend 30 minutes trying to figure out why it's not showing up there. Share screen. Cool. All right. So I'm going to have to scoot a little bit closer, and you guys are going to get an up-close picture of my face. Let's see. My drive. So let me get this up here so I can get into everything. I have to move every time you're doing your own little Zoom thing. If you ever host one, the faces always get in the way of everything you need to click on. All right, so forms. Here are the forms that I have: Become a Coach, Wellness Studio, all that good stuff. So you right click, and then you have a pop-up, and there's a more option, and then there's a form. And you're going to do a blank form. So you see up here this little purple area? Also, before we even start this, so you guys aren't trying to jot everything down at the same time. There. Now, so we're just going to pay attention and watch all the cool things you can do. And if you forget how to do something, you just can Google it, or you can message me. So this little eyeball at the top is a preview. Color palette. You can select a picture. Or you can upload a photo. Here's some photos that I have saved that I've used previously. So let's just say I wanted to use this one. Well, don't be a pain in my butt. There we go. Select. So that now becomes the header up here at the top. And you can change the color palette. You can make it fun, whatever. But here's where you're going to come. So basically, this is a web page, a www.blank.com. That is how you get it to work on your Linktree. When you create a form, you're basically just creating a web page that is going to be this. See, docs.google.com. Like that's what you're going to link this thing to. And I'll show you how to do all of that in a second. You see how it says send? There's a little link button right there. This is what you're going to put in Linktree in order to get the button that you're attaching it to open to this so people can fill it out. But we're going to go through this. So, untitled form. Oh my God. So glad you're here. This is where you would type all of your stuff. So, I'm not going to go through all that. We'll just copy and paste it from my old one and just make it easy. Because you just put the form description there. So this is what they're going to see first. You want this to be your call to action. What your why is. Why are you here? Why should they even fill this form out? What are they going to get? What are you offering them? So for me, like, have you ever thought about getting into the health and fitness industry and not going, well, this is my coach one. So glad you decided to join. Da, 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 da. So then we go into questions. This is where I'm probably going to switch up mine. Whoops. And do something a little different. You can add an option. You can just do all those different things. So you can also make it required that they answer certain things. I always make the email section required and all that good stuff. So then you're just going to click the button and it makes it required. And you can also change the type of question you want them to do. So you can ask them a short answer question, a paragraph question, a multiple choice question, a checkbox question, drop down, linear scale. On a scale of 1 to 10, how ready are you? Or a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about using social media? That's one that I like. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about using social media? 1, it scares the shit out of me. 10, I think it's an amazing platform that can change lives if used correctly. So all these different things, you have multiple choice grids, date, time. I don't ever use any of these down here. Linear scale is kind of where I stop, and I use the drop down and all this stuff. So let's go to my wellness form, and I'll show you what I've done with those. I'm so glad you're here. Where you can see, I make the email address required. Let's start with you, and you can title each section, and you can add a picture, whatever you want to do. I want to know about you because you want people, it's no fun when you just talk about yourself all the time. First and last name, I always make that required because sometimes they don't like to fill this part out or they'll skip it. And mine used to say, put your link there. And yeah, people just didn't want to do it. So I felt like maybe I should take that off. Location, US, Canada, UK. Current fitness level. I might take this out. I might just take everything after this out because I want to know, I want people to actually respond to me. And you see how, like, on your back end, you can see your responses here. There's like a summary and everything. So, And the reason why you want to have these things is this is not to make your life always easier. It's just to give your people who follow you another chance to know more about you and to see, to like contact you a different way. Some people are type A as fuck and they want this. They want to do this. They want to fill out a form. They want to reach out to you that way. It's a way to always put at the end of your posts, fill out the form in my bio. You can take screenshots and put it on your Instagram stories and circle where they're supposed to go. If you follow any of the top coaches, most of the top coaches, not all of them, then you've seen them do that, right? You've seen them take screenshots of their feed and like click here, and then it's like a circle of their Linktree and like go here to apply, whatever. That doesn't mean you don't still message every single person who likes that photo and invite them personally. This isn't, I will at the end of my post, I put fill out the form in my bio. Nobody filled it out, so they must not want to join me. That's not what this is. So let's just make sure that while we're going through this, we do understand that. How long would you like to work out each day? Let's get real about this. Tell me, like, this is probably something I would still include. Like, tell me about your current daily nutrition as detailed as possible. I think what I'm going to do with mine is just leave the current fitness level thing in there and maybe ask a question like, what's the most recent thing you tried that didn't work out for you, and why do you think it didn't work? And then go into nutrition and just leave it at that. And like leave all of these things for the more personal conversation. Because I'm really good. If I can get somebody talking to me about these things, I'm really good at getting them to like sign up. Tell me about your current daily nutrition as detailed as possible. I'd probably leave that one in there. I'm probably going to take out, please describe your current, what are your current fitness goals? I'll probably leave that out. I'm probably going to leave these in. Like, what do you feel like your biggest obstacle when it comes to getting the results you want? I'll leave that in there. Current struggles with nutrition. And this is an example of a checkbox where they can go through and check this off. Honestly, the most things that I get filled out on this is cravings, accountability, not eating enough, and emotional eater sometimes, and money. Those are the ones I usually get on that. And that gives me a good idea of who I'm talking to and what their objections are already going to be. So it kind of keeps you ahead of the game. Do you have any injuries or limitations that I know of? I kind of leave that. I'm kind of going to take that one out and leave it for the personal conversation once they fill the form out, just because it can be something that I ask them. This should definitely be a personal conversation. Most important question. I'm ready to start now. I'm ready, but I have some questions. I want to do this, but I'll have to wait until next month. I'm going to overhaul all of this on mine. But just so you guys know, does anybody have any questions about how these work and how you create them as far as that goes? Like first things first, go into your Google Drive, right click, create a new folder, title it forms, go inside of that folder, right click, go to more and select Google Forms and start from a blank template. I'm going to delete this. So yeah, that is as far as that goes. Now, I'm going to check the chat box. I don't think there's anything else popping up in there. All right, cool. Word. I'm glad. I mean, do you see a trend here? Like, it's like the top coaches, the people are in here. Like, that's awesome. I like seeing Bree's people in here, and Amy's and Laura's. All right. So, okay. So great. Now, how do I do my Linktree? So, linktr.ee, enter. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to put nothing else in there. I'll put it in the chat box. There you go. So, sign up with Instagram. It's going to open up mine because I already have one set up. But basically, imagine that this is all blank and it's not there. This is what it's going to show up. It's going to ask you what your Instagram handle is. It'll ask you to log into Instagram. Don't put the @ symbol in front of your name. Just put like Kel Savvy. When it asks you originally how to log in, just put it's going to say your username, Kel Savvy, and your password, and it'll connect, and you'll have the live preview over here on the right, and you'll have all this here. So if we were starting from scratch, I think having a link to your Facebook is crucial because you want people to be able to see that you are a real person and not just an Instagram person. Like you're sharing everywhere, right? So add new button or link, title it. The title that you title it here is what's going to show up on those buttons on the right. So I would just say, hit me up on Facebook. Then you have to put the URL there. If you're doing this from your phone, you can't put a URL from your app because it's an app. You have to open it up in your Safari or in your internet. Type in your Facebook. Go. The URL that you're going to use is not your home page URL, guys. You're going to go to your actual Facebook and go to your profile. Whatever page is showing is what it's going to take them to. So this is what you want it to. It can get kind of confusing because people get like blurred lines when it comes to like an app and like actual website nowadays. But like this is what it's going to take them to. So you're just going to come up here, copy this. And if you're on your cell phone, it's also going to put like /mobile blah, 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 blah at the end of that. You want it to just be https:/facebook.com/your Facebook username. That's it. So then you're going to come back here and you're going to paste it right there. See how it popped up over here? Hit me up on Facebook because it's turned on. Like if I wanted to disable this link for now because it's not helping me, whatever. If you want to delete one, you delete it. So I'm going to delete this one because I already have one on there. But look, all right, so you can see Wellness Group plus Fitness app. You can see the chart of how many times it's been clicked, 94 times. And I've only had it filled out 18. There. Given a lot of that is probably other coaches clicking on it to read it and look at it. But at the same time, that makes me think that shit's too long. You need to update it, make it shorter, make it more effective, figure it out. This is where being a business owner comes into play. You can't just do something, throw it out into the universe and never reevaluate it. Coach mentorship form has been clicked 55 times. Could you imagine if I had 55 coaches? I wish I had 55 coaches who are working the business. Oh man, I'd be so happy. I quit my job. Just kidding. Not really, because I like my job. But yeah. So that's basically how you do it. Does anybody have any questions about, oh, let me show you how to actually put it on there. So my bio link. I'm going to stop share really quick. First, you're going to take this and you click on it and it takes you up here. You're going to right click, copy. And you can't be on Instagram on your computer unless you have Flume. So let's stop share. Open up I'm going to share my computer screen with you from my phone. And you go to edit profile and just put it where it says website. And if anybody has questions about how to make your bio look cute, type it in notes and then copy and paste it. It will always merge all the lines together unless you type it in notes and hit and like literally put it, hit enter and go to the next line and then hit enter and go to the next line. Copy it from your notes and then paste it into your bio. Do not type it in here because no matter how many times you type it in here and hit enter, it's just going to bloop, and merge it all together and make it a paragraph. And it's really annoying. So yeah, business information. If you don't have a business account, you should have a business. And the only thing you have to do to have a business Instagram is have a Facebook page, which you should have, even if you don't use it. But yeah, was this helpful? Like, is that everything you guys want me to cover? And I mean, I do want to just end it with one last thing and say, the reason why I teach people to just watch the videos and be present in them is because you're a business owner now, guys. You have to be self-sufficient. You know what the difference between all the leaders on the team is and people who just keep trying and trying and trying? They're going through the pages and asking questions. They're not going out there and getting ideas and figuring it out. That's what being a leader is about. That's what being a business owner is about. Otherwise, if you stay in that mindset of I'm just going to ask my upline or I'm just going to ask another coach, when you build a team of coaches underneath you and they start asking you questions, you're going to freak the fuck out. You're going to be like, oh my God, there's so many questions. You have to learn to be teachable. You have to learn to teach other people and to show them the right way. It's not because you're lazy. I'm not lazy. I help my girls 24/7. But I think it's important to nicely teach them how to be self-sufficient and not just be like, you could have found that in their FAQ. That's rude. Don't be like that. Just be like, here, like Danny, I saw the perfect example the other day. Danny commented and was like, hey, so just for here's the answer, but for future reference, you can always find everything you need to know underneath FAQ. That's a nice way to coach people. You know what I mean? So do you guys have any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask me if you have, if you're trying to set it up and it's not working or anything. No, we're good. Did I mute everybody? Is anybody trying to unmute themselves and they can't unmute? All right, cool. I'm going to stop the recording.